Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another unboxing video, and this is the Power Station Deluxe Set 1985. Let's have a look inside the box. The Power Station Deluxe DLX. I'd forgotten how fantastic this is. Robert Palmer, John Taylor, Tony Thompson, Andy Taylor, Michael Stead Bars, produced by Bernard Edwards. I'm enjoying this, absolutely a great deal. This little sheet was tagged on the back of it, which gives you the original remastered album or the track titles, raw instrumentals, and Night and Live, and also Power Mad Live at the Spectrum Philadelphia. So you have the original album. There it is with the cover as it was. Then instrumentals, and then Night and Live, lots of mega mixes and 7 inches mixes and Live Aid stuff, etc. And then also the double live one, which features Michael DeBara. I interviewed, I think, quite early on in my career doing Now Spinning Magazine, which is absolutely superb and absolutely brilliant. And it's great that they've done some of the things here that my Obsession, which Michael was involved in. And then the booklet gets extra points because this is a new interview talking about the band here, which is absolutely superb. So just get this right, because this is in a documentary filmed during the making of the Power Station self-titled album in 1985. Robert Palmer remarks, "There's no way this group should be happening. It should be illegal." He wasn't wrong. So what began as a fun escape for Duran's internal tensions remains a wide ride for listeners too. And here Andy Taylor and John Taylor explain to John Earls how the Power Station became an illicit thrill for all involved. So it's John and Andy talk in the interview, talking about how the album came together. And this is really interesting and gives us a real feel about what it was like. Obviously when they went out live and Robert Palmer didn't want to do it, and they got Michael DeBars in, all of this is in. Some great photographs as well from the period, and also we have the full lyrics for the album as well, which is a great touch. And then a Japanese cover of Music Life, and then all the kind of credits and details on the back. And there's Michael with the band. Obviously you can see here the rider where they've had all the Maltesers and probably the M&Ms with the yellow ones taken out. And there you have it. So that is the Power Station Deluxe Edition. So that's the Power Station Deluxe box set, which covers the CD of the original remastered album, which sounds absolutely superb. Raw instrumentals, I also love those. Night and Live, lots of extra edits and 12-inch mix, etc. And then the 2 live discs as well. This was the supergroup that shouldn't have happened, as Duran took a little bit of a break, and John and Andy Taylor from there, joined forces with Robert Palmer, superb vocalist, and really gave him a real leg up back into increasing his profile to such a degree, of course, that the success of this album meant that the record label came looking for him and made him an offer, which made him jump ship and avoid actually going on tour, because he was off to do his own solo album, which meant that another vocalist came in, which I'll come to in a minute. I think this album always sounded fantastic. I loved 80s production, especially of drums and bass, and this sounds such an immense album. And songs like Get It On, the T-Rex cover, sounded fantastic anyway, and Murderous, Lonely Tonight, Some Like It Hot. It's a great record. And Andy Taylor is a fantastic guitarist. Do you remember he did that covers album where he even covered Space Station Number 5 by Montrose? But an exceptional player, and this gave him a chance to still have one foot in the pop dance arena, but also gave him a chance to really let rip with his lead guitar playing, and he really does that. And Nile Rodgers' production here is just stunning. So I knew that part. What I didn't know was the live stuff. I mean, I knew that when Robert Palmer moved on, they got in another vocalist, a vocalist who I've spoken to, which is Michael DeBar. I remember that the time in the mid-80s when this happened, and just to kind of take you back to this point, I know this is going away from an actual true review of the box set, but it's well worth getting. But I remember at the time when the news came out that Michael DeBar's joining the power station, Michael had this reputation then that being kind of a scary, real rock and roll guy. And I think for the guys themselves, I think one of the things that's really good about this is the interview with John and Andy in the booklet. That, that Michael DeBar was an older guy and they brought him in and they, and they were partying here. And when you listen to Michael DeBar on the live stuff, he's really going for it. He's Mr. Rock and Roll. And you have to remember that when you listen to him live here, he's being powered by mineral water and tea probably, because by this time he completely cleaned himself up, whereas the rest of the band were partying. But the thing is about Michael is he always sounds like he's partying, and he's like literally, he's a full-on, all dials are dialed up to 11 with anything that he touches. And there was there's no difference between listening to him here than you listen to Silverhead or Checker Past or Detective. It's the same guy. I think my thought was maybe this was a chance for him to really break through, because he also did Live Aid around this time. But of course he was following his acting career. But this is a great document to his song, singing and performance, and it really showed what this band could have done if they'd have stayed together and done another studio album. But of course the pressures of Duran were as they were, and everyone else has been pulled in different directions. But this is a great set, and it sounds perfect. Anyway, thank you for watching, thank you for being here. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Please take care, all of you. Subscribe, become a patron, and you'll get so much stuff in return. And you'll get access to our private communities and lots of other things as well. Take care, keep spinning those discs, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.